this thing's a mess. All right, so today we are going to be doing a little cleaning up of the turbo Silverado. The guy's wiring that he did on the truck is not great. He put the headlights that are in it. His wiring is just very, very sloppy. He didn't tuck anything. He didn't heat shrink anything. We're gonna tuck that all up today. Also, the sub wires of the truck are nasty, and the remote wire and the power wire are kind of just running across the passenger side floor under the seat, and that needs to be tucked up and prettied up. That right there is what I want to take care of. Ew. Sorry, not the power wire, the RCA cables, but still. And here we go. We got all the stuff here in the back that I believe we're gonna need. Happy turbo truck. What I really enjoy about this truck is I can drive it like a normal vehicle as long as I can afford to put gas in the thing. But I can drive it like a normal vehicle doing 45 miles an hour, which I really appreciate, because a lot of the builds that are out there for street trucks and whatnot aren't really streetable when you're talking about bad weather and rain and everything. And I'm glad that the guy left the rest of the truck relatively stock other than the driveline. That way I can set up the truck the way I want. Looks like we have ourselves wow, it's icy, really icy. I thought it was just snow, but it's very icy. Specifically summer tires in the snow. Beautiful roads, beautiful day. Beautiful four-wheel drive burnouts. It's almost like it's not made for the snow, the way that it's set up. So we're at the garage now. She's thawing out. What I ran into for an issue here, the guy has the remote wire in the RCA just running back through the middle of the truck, of course, as people do. And I need to pull this trim panel off to tuck it, but it's not going anywhere. So instead, we're just gonna do this. The guy did all this stuff, and I want to clean this up. I would like to clean this stuff up as well. I'll show you guys what I'm doing here. So this is the guy's mess of wiring. I don't know why he used a million different little butt connectors and everything for all this stuff that he did. I don't understand why he wouldn't just run one wire. Whoever had this before hacked a lot of stuff together. This is the hood latch cable. I just think that he cobbed a lot of the wiring stuff. The guy obviously didn't know how to make stuff look good. He was more mechanically inclined than anything. But I mean, this was just hanging out in water when I bought the truck. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with this. This wire runs from the relay here. And then you can see that these wires are going to run into the cabin. Now, these wires obviously weren't here from the factory, so they're going to be for the boost and the air-fuel ratio. So what this controller is telling the meth tank down there to do is it's saying, hey, we've achieved our 5 pounds of boost. You now need to put this much meth down the intake through these two injectors here. And then it pumps the meth up through these two injectors here. Now, Again, the guy didn't tuck these nicely, so they're all kind of just flailing everywhere, and I'm going to fix all that stuff here in the future. So what I'm doing now is just tucking all these connectors in, and then as soon as I get all the way back here, I'm going to cut a little excess. I'll slide it down just a little further, and then I'll zip tie along it. That way it doesn't slip out or pop out. So I've got all this tucked all the way back here. There is one more ground wire that he had pretty much cutting itself on the edge of the fuse box. And I know it'd probably never cause any issue, but I'm going to put just a little indent in here so that wire can sit without being crimped on. You can see I put a little dip into the box there, as well as into the same spot on the lid here. That way the wire's no longer getting crimped. So I've got some 4-inch zip ties. 4-inch, 6-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch. If you don't get that, you're probably too young to be watching this. Anyways, I have some 4-inch zip ties here. I'm just going to zip tie along. That way they don't pop out. And then I'm also going to secure it down here to the main wiring loom. I was going to reroute it around here, but as much wire as he put here, there's still not enough to put the relay right here on this missing fender mount. So I'm just going to put a bolt back in the missing fender mount instead. I was going to put this mounted up flush under here, and that way it was never visible. This right here is how I zip tie looms when I do them. I don't do them very often. When I have something that enters or exits the loom at a different part of the wiring, I do a zip tie to the left and a zip tie to the right of it. That way it kind of holds down that entry or exit point, and it's not going to leave anywhere else. So if you have the zip tie tight enough, it realistically shouldn't slowly work its way down the loom. It should stay where it's at. So that's how I do it personally. I'm no professional, so do as you will with that information. Update. I have pulled this valance off. I decided what I'm going to do with this wire. So I pulled the valance off. The guy had this clamped between here. This was tight. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this bottom tray off, run this wire behind here, up behind here, and run down here, because there's no tension on that. It's just plastic clips. So I'm going to put it here or here and run zip ties here. Because this is disgusting the way he has this done. So I'm going to make it better. I think this looks much better now. I tucked the green wire up in here. I reran the meth injection wire. I hate the fact that I had to zip tie this to make sure that it'd stay, but I didn't want to risk it. This line should be above this piping right here, but I didn't feel like taking all the piping off. So this now comes up in under, whereas before it was hanging over. I don't know why he did that. All it took was me taking this off to get that in. So I tucked the headlight wiring down in there, so now that's no longer visible if you look at it from up here. And of course, this wiring setup over here was done. Just a little bit here, even better. I zip tied this to here. Again, feel bad for using zip ties, but it is what it is. And all this is done now. I think that I'm going to debadge this here in the next video. I don't know how I feel about getting rid of this. I feel like it splits up the plain look of the truck. I'm thinking about keeping this and just going with tinted taillights to match the tint that I'm having done on the front windows, because I'm having the front match to the back. That way it's 20% all the way around. It's got the rain guards, which are black, the tonneau cover, which is black. So I feel like smoke taillights are going to make a good difference. And I'm also ordering a roll pan for the back of here. I still kind of want to retain the look of a teenager's build. I don't want it to look like it's boosted. And that's where I'm trying to keep it with this truck. I also have drop shackles for the back that I'm going to do and a little bit of other stuff. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Today, I'm just happy I got some of this stuff tucked up here and it's less ugly. I'll give you guys a little more driving footage here, and then I'm going to end off the video because this is like 45 to 50 minutes of stuff to edit down. So we'll call it good here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.